Oh boy, the next Chronicles anime is telling us a lot. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. You know, it's always a good time when, the next Chronicles anime signals what's going to be happening for the next umpteen months within the game. They really love showcasing some of these great things that are coming, and up front and center is everybody's favorite, Alistair the Invoker. Honestly, the fact that this man is involved in so many of the lores of the game is kind of crazy, considering he's the first prophecy. He really is just involved. Right now you're looking at $9 for the QCR, which is not crazy. Alistair the Invoker of Madness, these are actually sixes. I'm surprised he's actually kind of getting low. We made fun of this card back in the day for being one of the worst cards that you could pull from Genesis Impact, but it's crazy because 2026 is looking like that might be worth it. Alistair the Invoker alt arts, these are about $5 a piece as well. This is another one of those cases where we're seeing, great upwards momentum. The Shadows of Valhalla Secret is actually $1.25. That's interesting. But in terms of the rest of this, you can get the Genesis Impact Ultra for 40 cents. Platinums are very, very cheap. Alistair doesn't exactly have the greatest, oh my gosh, the gold rare PCRs. He doesn't exactly have the greatest array of choices for you to pick up. Also, the old Alistair 2021 Dual Invitational game at $150. All right. Now, to go with Alistair, we always have to look at Invocation. Now, the mighty Invocation has truly fallen. This card, I think, had one of the craziest track records in the game's history for, just value, and just over time, it's just creeped on down. But I mean, that's just the result of time and the deck not really feeling as strong as it once was. And I mean, I'm not going to be the first one to tell you that. Looks like you're settling down about $24 to $26 a copy right now, which is not terrible. It's not great. But why spend it for the ultimate when I can come down here and get quarter centuries at, dare I say, a fraction of the price? This is a pretty normal thing that we've been seeing. A lot of these QCRs just came through and did a fantastic job at eradicating things off of the market. I do see our secret rares and battles are pretty cheap, $2, $3 price point. And then, of course, we have the alt art, which, by the way, if we are, depending on what's going to happen with this new stuff going forward, I do want to remind people that you probably will see Invocation, at least in this alt art, get a reprint in a Starlight Rare. It just tends to be the pattern that tends to follow around with this. So kind of keep that in mind when you're looking at this right now. Don't be surprised Pikachu-faced if that actually does end up happening, because I think it's going to be very much a reality. But the rest of these Invocations, this card truly was just punched into the ground. And they've done a good job at that. But yeah, your top two high-end versions are definitely seeing a calm down within the market space. And I think that's actually pretty decent. Now, of course, we have to go talk about the Invoked cards themselves. So we recently did get the Invoked Majestic Omega, which, by the way, when you're kind of overlapping and bringing these lures together for some, reasons, I mean, these are $16 a piece right now. Honestly, a Starlight Rare for something like this that might potentially have an upward swing in the future is considerably worth looking at. Makabas, my gosh, man. For as much as Makaba plagued this game, was one of the craziest cards that we had seen. These coming in at $6 is insane now. Regular Makabas, they're $2 to $3. Kaligas, on the other hand, this guy, he's been kind of a topic of debate, because he's able to grind down a lot of the stupidness that this game has had. I mean, we've been tracking that for a while. Alt Art Makabas, thank you, 2024 Tins, for bringing us cards that we wanted available in Starlight Rares. So bad. Ragens are really cheap for, it looks like the Secret Rares do have a little bit. Purgatrios are sub $1 now. I mean, a lot of this stuff in the Invoked department has, I think, really pushed down. Majestic. Well, you already know, Spenta did get the reprint, or the first printing into the TCG, which I think is, you know, decently cool for the price point. I mean, $40 is not bad. We didn't get to do the Borreload Savage shenanigans that, you know, the other OCG format got to enjoy, which I think is one of the reasons that actually kind of kept this card in check in our game. $30 Renonas, not surprised about that. $24 copies of Ninarus, that's been pretty normal. Artemises are still $14. You'll love to see that. See, now this is the thing I love. Spenta Secret Rares are actually coming in at $11. There's 120 listings of this card on today's market. So something to kind of think about here. You know, do these go lower or do they go higher? I probably will go lower, depending on how core sets are going to interact here in the future with this upcoming product. I'm not exactly sure, you know, how it's going to be, but we'll see. Wow. CRs are still decently up there. These are $9. Still are seeing Zorowa. This card's, the fact that the OG print of Zorowa is still holding at like a $10 price point, I think it's still some of the most hilarious action that we have seen for a while, because you can just go pick up the lower rarity version of it and these will be fine. Crowley, these are still about, I mean, it's interesting. You have one cheap fire, so it looks like you're holding about $6 to $7 per copy. You're always going to have the immediate undercutters that are just going to try to want to sell the Prague. They're like, I'll get it out of here. You know, it's not what I want to see. And I mean, I guess it's interesting. Zorowa, the Calamities, these are 3s now. These have been kind of gaining a little bit of steam. Chirozos are also kind of up for debate right now. These are also $2 to $3. I would kind of keep an eye on Chirozo. Obviously, you know, they give it a reprint to an Ultra, it's game over for the card. Obviously, you know, we've seen it happen again. Zorowa, the Majestic Fusion. This guy is pretty cheap, actually. I will say, once again, I mean, when you're getting into the Majestic lore stuff, majority of it is pretty cheap. And I mean, the Calamity did get the reprint a long time ago. Witchcrafter, oh boy. Madame Vures are still $13. I feel like this never really changes. Like, honestly. Witchcrafter Creations are still 14s. Golem Ulurus are still $3. You know, for a Rising Rampage Secret Rare, I would love to see a world where we could actually get this card off of the ground and get it to work. Petores are still coming in $1.50s, which is not bad. Holidays are $1.50s. Haynes, I mean, a little Witchcrafter stuff looks like it might be gaining a little bit of an uptick, but I don't think it's going to be anything really too crazy to look at. Yeah, the rest of this is pretty cheap. And then, of course, Endymion, the master of magicians. It's $2 to $3. We're missing a lot of Endymion cards. Like, we have the Servant Endymion, which is like 50 cents. The Citadels still have a little bit of value. The card with the greatest long text, 50 cents. I don't know if he still holds the track record, but he's definitely still up there. The Citadel itself, still like 30 cents. The Endymion stuff, the Crescent Moon, they did a good job actually printing, you know, the additional support for this and actually getting it into circulation. So, all right. Sky Striker, Azalea, Temperance. You might not have noticed this, but there was a Sky Striker card that actually didn't get reprinted. And shockingly enough, it was actually Azalea. You don't really play this card at the moment. I'm not like too shocked to see that, you know, this card is going up because people are like, oh, Sky Striker, I want to have a copy of it just to have. But you have a decent amount of small sales to cover on this, which I guess is okay. Also, DD Crow Starlights. $93. Are we actually gaining? Oh boy. I also wanted to show these got posted in our Discord. You know, Rage of the Abyss boxes, you know, they bottomed down pretty hard, but what's actually happening here? Looks like over the last couple of weeks, these just kind of disappeared from like the $54 mark. One just sold for $102. I'd keep an eye on, once again, some of this older product because, you know, as time kind of goes on, we're going to continue to see this stuff disappear. So, not much else to say about this, but please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Patrons! Thank you!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.